Okay, everyone, welcome back to the series for lesson number 9. A little bit later in the day today, had my first interview this morning. That's why we're a little bit later in the day, but of course, as usual, got the Red Bull. So, lesson number 9. We got 2 more. This has been a hell of a series. I've been in love with it, and today we're gonna come back with another banger, guys. We're gonna come back with another banger. So this one is lesson 9. So on your paper with your pen, go. And if you don't have one, pause the video and come right back. Lesson 9 is called auditing your circle. Again, auditing your circle. What does that mean? That means eliminating negativity and allowing positivity based on your goal. So auditing your circle, this just means filtering out who you spend your time with, because the sum of the 5 people that we hang around with, that's who we become. If you hang around 5 stoners, you'll become the 5th or the 6th. If you hang around 5 millionaires, you're gonna be the 6th eventually. If you hang around with 5 ripped dudes, you're gonna be the 6th ripped guy. This is how it works with everything. So auditing your circle is one of the most important lessons that you can ever learn for yourself. For me, I had to do it many times. In high school, I never had a friend group. I had a bunch of friends. I had great friends. I have friends that I still talk to this day, but I never had like a friend group. My friends were at this school, some were at that school, some were 3 years older, some were a year younger, some were 2 years, whatever. I never had a friend group. In high school, I always thought that was because there's something wrong with me. Like I always thought maybe I need to do what they're doing, but I always stuck to my gut. No, you know what? Maybe it's how I am, whatever. But looking back, what that did is that was just a foreshadowing of how my next 4 years after high school is gonna go. Because what happened? I knew how important who you spend time with is. So first thing, Joey, move in. Bang, move in. Now him and I work together. And the people we have in our group, well, most of them are millionaires. So it's just very important to understand the people you allow into your life play a huge role on you. They're part of your environment. So that being said, it's very important. It is so important. Again, to bring it back to high school, Joey was the same way. We never had a certain friend group that we'd spend all of our time with. Again, we had friends. We had plenty of friends, but they were here, they were there, they were younger, they were older, whatever. And that was just something that obviously, right, in that situation, it could be looked at as a, kind of weird thing. But when you take the same trait, but in a different situation, it's one of the best things you could ever do. So now the question is, okay, how do I audit my circle when the people I've been hanging around with, I've been hanging around for the last 6, 7, 8, 9 years, or last 2, 3, 4 years, whatever. There's no one left to audit my circle in. What do I do? I'm from a small town or whatever the excuse is, right? So the way you do that, okay, fall in love with people that are on social media, that give advice, that people that you want to be like. I can't tell you how many hours when I was 16, 17, and 18 years old, up until really, I still do. It's not as much because I don't have that much free time. I don't have free time now, but I make time for stuff like that. Find someone you want to be with and just watch their content. Watch their friends' content. Watching content is the best way to audit your circle, because time that you'd be spending with people that you shouldn't be spending time with, you're gonna be spending that time with someone that you want to be like. Bring it back to yesterday's lesson, the big brother lesson, right? Find a big brother that you want to be like and watch their content. That is the best way. Another way is buying a networking community. a paid community. I've done a couple of those. Nothing high ticket or nothing substantial, but I've definitely been in paid discords. I've joined courses and then I did the upsell to be around other people. I've done that I've done that twice actually. But those are some ways. Because the biggest thing I learned about this lesson is that what you talk about with your friends is what's going to happen in your life. Okay? Example A and example B. Example A, I'll use me and Joey for both of them. Okay, let's take us before we got on our mission, right? So 16 years old. What were our conversations looking like? Sports and girls. The conversation was sports or girls. Period. That was it. Now our conversations are about money, are about content, or about fighting. It's still about girls, but not nearly as a percentage that it used to be. But now take our realities in each. We talked about sports and girls so much, what we spent our time in doing, training, working out, and then hanging with some chicks. And now what do we do, right? We make money, right? We do content, right? We, still, whatever. But your conversations matter. So audit your conversations and ask yourself, am I talking about sports gambling or sports betting or whatever the fuck? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think is good. It doesn't matter what you think is good. But it matters if your conversations don't align with your goal. Don't expect to ever reach that fucking goal. You will never reach your goal if your conversations at least don't align with it. So that's what I'm saying, but it's okay, because the solution to that is if you're in a community where there's not a lot of people like you, that's okay. On the internet, there are so many people on the internet. So that's how you can beat that. And then I guess last one is you could always buy somebody's mentorship or course. And if you become the best in that mentorship or course, you will then build a relationship with the person that made the course. That's happened to me twice. I am proof of that. If you're the best student and you get the best results in that course, the maker or whatever of the course, the owner of the course, he will reach out to you because he's going to want to use you as a testimonial. But you're going to prove that you're the best, so he's going to want to be friends with you in the first place, because winners hang around with winners. Winners don't like mediocre people. Let me say that again. Winners do not like mediocrity. If you're just drifting through life, you'll never be friends with winners. Ever. That's a fact. So, as lesson 9 comes to a conclusion. Oh, that's my bed. It's where the magic happens. And okay, so as we come to a conclusion, here are some red flags to look out for with your friends or future friends. And the reason I know I'm qualified to say this is because I've met so many different types of people in the last 3 years. It's been unbelievable. I can't even say everybody, like the different types of people. So, red flag number 1, if they're a people pleaser, stay away from people pleasers. What's a people pleaser? A people pleaser is somebody who's afraid to disagree or do something that the ordinary group does or doesn't do, right? They want to make everybody happy. They're afraid of letting people down. They're afraid of maybe not antagonizing, but they're just afraid of pissing people off from what they really think. Don't be a people pleaser. I promise you, if you're acting like one, trust me, you're not. Okay? You might lose some friends in the short term, but in the long term, your vibe will always attract your tribe. That's probably the first red flag. This one's huge. If all they talk about is chicks, bro, dude, if you're hanging around with people, I'm talking about like if you want to, have locker room talk, bro, I get it. But if all you know, if you know someone and it's all they do is talk about chicks, bro, run. And it's not the reason you think. The reason that's such a big red flag is because they are a slave to their emotions. Let me say that again. It's not that the girls are bad in general to talk about. They're not. But if that's all they talk about, that person is a slave to their desire. Okay? So that same person that, check this shirt, bang, sing how. It's tiling on the back. All right, it's getting warmed up. The person that only talks about women will only listen to their emotions. They won't go by loyalty. They're going to operate by a different code, which means if you tell them something they shouldn't tell people, if you tell them a secret, they're going to tell people. Why? Because they listen to their emotions, right? They can't go with their brain. They have to listen to their emotions. So those people that only talk about women, run. What's another red flag? It's pretty obvious, but if they don't have anything that they're passionate about. Now, I don't mean moving across Thailand and starting content because I have a passion for it. Like, I don't mean like anything crazy like that. But I'm saying if they have something, like if they're not obsessed with something, it could be fucking piano, it could be soccer, it could be a hobby that they're passionate about. If they don't, let me make this very clear. If they don't have anything that they like to do, let's just say really good, like a hobby they love doing, right? Whatever it is. If they don't have one, that means they are a slave to the algorithm. The algorithm, yes, on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever the fuck you want to, platform you want to think of, okay? They're a slave to it. And let me break this down. When you're scrolling through your algorithm, it's the only time during your day your brain is completely off. When you sleep, your subconscious still is running, but your brain is completely off when you're scrolling. And I can prove it to you. When you scroll, you lose your focus. Right, let's say you're 15 minutes into the doom scroll. If I asked you what video you saw 2 minutes ago, you would have no idea. You would have no idea. The reason why is because you're frying your dopamine reactors, you're frying your focus, right? If you can't focus on a task, you'll never put enough time in to find out if you're good at something. But most importantly, why the algorithm is so bad is because it kills your ability to think. It kills your ability to be creative. And let me make this clear. If you can't think or be creative, I hate to overuse the term, but there's no way that you'll ever break outside of the matrix because you can't think of a way to. It is the number one method to keep young men, I'm gonna say young men because that's the people I'm fucking talking to, it is the number one method to keep young men a slave. A slave. It's not porn, it's not lust, it's not any of these things. It's the algorithm because it turns off your ability to think. So make sure you're not doing that. Fuck. But yeah, so that would be the 3 red flags. I keep going and going, but those are the biggest 3. So that's less than 9, okay? And that's less than 9. We got less than 10 coming tomorrow for the last one. But there's a couple of things. So the interview today, it was fun. It was 30 minutes right before practice. I was fired up. It was good. So I can't wait for that to drop. And so I'm really excited for that. It was awesome. So we got that one. What else we got coming up? I got a day in the life coming. This day in the life is going to be crazy. I'm going all out on it. It's going to be sick. I'm going to shoot that Monday because we got the lesson today and then Sunday. Remember, I'm at about 12 hours-ish, depending on where you live when you're watching this. So, or ahead of you. So we got the day in the life coming. Monday is when I'll shoot that. And I don't know when I'm dropping it yet. Whenever it's ready. Yeah, I'm putting some effort into this video. So that one's coming next week. I think that one's going to blow the lid off this channel. I'm so excited for that one. But besides that, guys, per usual, remember. Yeah, I don't know where I was going. Just, hey, chase your dreams. Get caffeinated. Get a pump. You know, ask the pretty girl. Ask the guy for a job. Ask the guy for mentorship. Study. Read. Write down your ideas. Read more than you think you should. Watch your podcast. Work. Nothing beats action plus reflection. Every morning, best equation in the world. Action plus reflection plus persistency. All right, gentlemen, that's all I got for you. Ladies, if you're here too. You never know. So that's all I got. I cannot wait to talk to you guys tomorrow. Follow the Instagram, Luke1Story. Like this video. Please like this video. I want to get this out there to more people. And by liking it, it's going to help push it more. So please like the video. And then follow Joey at JoeyStory-12. And guys, that's all I got. Let's go. Ho, 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 ho.